Hi! I was editing this video and I realized it's from April, so it's been a while, and so I thought I should reintroduce this clip. When I filmed this, I was trying out a new lens and I was also just trying out a new technique, which is why I still want to share this clip because I love this technique and I've been meaning to do it more. I just haven't had the chance to sit down and focus on it. I have some things I want to tweak. So yeah, I really like this. That's a mic. It's a mic. So I still want to show you this clip. I think it's really fun, and yeah, enjoy. Hey, my hands are dirty. I've been sketching and drawing, and I'm right in the middle of trying something new, and I almost wasn't gonna document it because I didn't think I was gonna do it, and then I realized oh shit, I should film. So here we are. I'll show you where I'm at right now. I took this little sketch. I made this sketch from a picture off Instagram. I think the Instagram account is called Parisians in Paris, and so this is I just sketched this from a photo that they posted, and then I'm using my light table here. I traced from this image, I traced just one person, and now I am kind of matching up these sections of color so I can cut out the shoes. I think that's the shoes, and this is the pant, and this is the hat. So I'm basically gonna try and work with pastels and cutouts. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, but I haven't actually done it. So this is my first shot at it. Let's see. I've been dreading the process of this just because it's so much planning, and I usually just draw and I'm done. But I think it'll look really cool. So yeah, let's try it out with this little drawing. The drawing's cute. It's not particularly exciting or anything, but I think it's a good one to try out this process with. Any drawing, it would be fun to try out. So I'm gonna bring you up to the top camera, which is just my iPhone, and you can just watch as I do this. I'll probably speed it up or something, but let's see how it turns out. So for this one, I have been wanting to try out this cutout process for such a long time, but I didn't know how to even get started with doing something like this. So once I had the sketch, I just went for it and started tracing kind of the biggest shapes from my sketch, washing them with the soft pastel pencil color, and then cutting them out. Yeah, I realized maybe soft pastel pencil is not the best way to go about this. Maybe the pan pastels or even just chunkier pastels might work better for this kind of thing because you can really cover larger surfaces, but at the same time I have smaller bits. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to maybe try out some of the pan pastels down the line. They seem so messy. I just love pencil. So anyways, you can see here I got most of the bigger shapes done, and then other than the big shapes, I wanted to pencil in the details. So yeah, here I started laying it out, and I went with tape because it was more convenient, and then I realized tape is so much better because I don't want the cutouts to be flush with the bottom paper. I want them to really sit on top. Then here's the second girl. I'm just getting really sloppy with it at this point. I was just trying to cover as much color as possible. So yeah. I almost forgot to I tried to cut corners, and then you see me backtrack and just fill it in. It was so silly. For the next one, I would know there's no point in cutting corners. You may as well just do the whole thing. And the little pieces, this little purse, was kind of the most annoying parts because it's really hard to cut out, and I had these chunky scissors, but actually these chunky scissors are really sharp, so it kind of worked out. But yeah, I really enjoyed having to do all these cutouts, but it would be so much easier if I just had paper already covered in pastel and then cut it out, as opposed to cutting every single little bit out as I go. But that also seems counterproductive to cover an entire page in green and then cut out tiny bits that I don't need. That seems wasteful. Overall, I think my process is pretty good. Like, I think I would still do it similarly, but maybe like if I made everything bigger, it might be easier. Like the tiny pieces were so hard. Look at that weird back foot. It was so hard to cut out that little piece because I'm trying not to smear the pastel pencil at the same time, so I can only hold it by like the edges of the paper. So yeah, some stuff like that, it's like maybe I should just work at a bigger scale, but this was just like a test run. So because it's a test run, I love it. It's imperfect, but I love it that way. Yeah, and then I like had such a tight color palette that a couple colors had to like kind of repeat next to each other, even though ideally I wouldn't want it that way, but it's okay because the texture of the soft pastel plus the layers kind of gave it its own little division. And yeah, my light table really came in handy for this. Okay, so I just finished doing a bunch of cutouts. I think it took me like an hour. I mean, I don't know. It's the weekend, I'm not worried about time, but hope nothing falls off. I decided to tape them. So these are just the cutouts from the clothing. I think everything else I'm gonna draw with, I don't know if black or with color or with pastel colors. I'm not sure, we'll see what I end up doing. But it was fun to do. I definitely think I need like more space or something. I felt cramped. But I decided to tape it instead of glue it. So I have a glue stick. I have a glue stick right here, but I decided to just use tape because I want, when I scan it, for the paper like to look like it's sitting on top of each other, not like completely flat. So this is an experiment. This is like something I've been wanting to do and I want to see how it turns out. I'm gonna try black. Might be too like jarring with the colors. I don't know. Let's try it. So this part was way more exciting. I feel like you could see everything actually coming together super nicely. Like I ended up drawing over it with black with black soft pastel pencil, and I think it turned out really cool to be able to give it that more definition and being able to just draw directly on it, because obviously like some of these things would be so hard. I could have cut out the arm, but like when does it stop if I'm cutting out every layer? I just like had to draw a line, especially because this was just like a test run. So maybe in the future I'll try cutting out some of the details as opposed to just drawing them on. But I really liked how it looks when you just draw them on. I think the combinations of like texture end up looking really cool because all of it is smudgy, and then the pastel pencil in black is like so sharp and dark. So I really like that. And once again, my light table really saved me because I was still looking at the reference photo off camera, but it was nice to be able to go back to my original sketch and kind of just trace some of the outlines. Whenever you see the video skip, it's because my big dumb head got in the way. So I had to edit that out. Yeah, one major question I end up having is if I should like cut out the hair on its own separate layer or not. I couldn't decide and I ended up not doing it for this one, but I definitely want to try it out for another one because I think it might look really cool to have the hair on its own separate little cutout piece. Oh my god, this little purse was so finicky. Look at me trying to like, it just ends up looking like a weird blob, but it's okay. And that hand ends up looking super weird. In retrospect, a lot of the drawing is like kind of funky looking, but I like it anyways. I don't mind. And yeah, the purses were tough, but essential. You have to draw a little purse. Okay, so I think I finally finished. It took longer than I expected, or like just as long as I expected, which is why I haven't done it before. But I did all the cutouts. I hope nothing falls. I don't know. And I think it looks really cool. I'm like still trying to work out how I want to lay down the hair because I really like just like penciling in the hair, but then it kind of with the cutout, I don't know if it's cool that it looks like that or if I should like do it on its own white paper, cut it out and paste. I don't know. I don't know if that should be a cutout as well, but I like just coloring it in. I think it looks cooler. Oh, I think I smudged the hair on accident. No. So I'm gonna have to, these feet are a little strange, but who cares? I'm gonna have to scan this in and see what it looks like, but I do like how it just looks like on here. And yeah, like when I scan it, this little piece won't be like lingering like that anymore. Yeah, so I definitely think I could play with more cutout textures, like layering more cutouts with a little more planning, but this is my first time doing it. And I still think it looks cool, so I'm gonna scan it and yeah, we'll see. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope it was interesting to see how I put this together. It was an experiment for me. And yeah, hopefully I'll continue. Ooh, I turned the light table on. I'll continue making more of these and they'll kind of take a little more shape. This is literally the first one. I documented it on camera, which I think is cool. So thanks for watching, and remember to leave a comment if you think I should lay down the hair differently. Like and subscribe, and thanks again. Bye-bye.